Janani Sharadang Deving Ramakrishna Jagadgurum Pada Padmetayo Sitta Pranumami Muhurmu Pranumami Muhurmu Pranumami Muhurmu. Today, yesterday I have completed the up to the unit number 7. Today I will start from unit 8, familiarization with OAG 2. OAG means that is official airline guide, and that OAG, what is the benefit for that? It is the global flight data and information solution providers. And it serves commercial airline, cargo sector, and corporate business travel markets. OAG connect buyer and supplier of air travel and transportation. So that OAG is not only important for the transportation, it helps to the business also. The platform provides instant access to air transport dynamic and industry trends. Sorry. On-time performance evaluation and competitor analysis. So everything what you need in a business, in OAG, you need everything for that. That competitor analysis helps two competitors to understand what is their position and market opportunity and predictive analysis. All the data analysis are available on this particular OAG, powered by world's most extensive air travel freight database and advanced analytical tools. Today, when we're talking to the big data, now big data in the picture because through the data we can understand the patterns. And after the patterns, we can understand what type of strategy we can, whether it operation or statistic strategy or strategy, long term or day-to-day operation strategy. It depends due to the pattern of the data. Now, summary of the working of official airline guide. What is that? The OAG official airline is a key source of air travel intelligence and covering the air schedules, cargo information, and aviation statistics. Today, business without statistics, it cannot be survive. It cannot be go ahead for this thing because that statistic help us to break even point and also the profit of a break even point and also helps to minor details about that. After that, what is that? The flight codes. Earlier, I discussed about the codes. Codes, it is a number basis for this thing. Airport codes, flight numbers, and service details also. Departure and arrival time, aircraft type, and number of stops. So they are details about whatever the requirement for. Provides monthly update cargo flight reference guide and customize the data parameters. Allow user to filter relevant information or offer in-depth analysis of airline and airport data and flight frequency, capacity frequency, mean what the time interval for this thing, capacity of trains, and the airport performance. Everything should be minute details are there. And modules include the schedule, connection, traffic, demand, mapper, and dot. Centralized global airline timetable helps us to simplify the complex travel planning and booking. That timetable also help us to understand how to save the time also and how to use the timetable in profitable way. Now, Key component of OAG flight information. We are need to flight information now. Departure city, in which city they are departing for this thing. Display in bold and alphabetical order. When it is seen in bold and alphabetical order, so it can be visible with 3-letter city codes. Earlier, I already discussed about the city codes should be in 3 letters. Use from to format for city to city, timetable from where to where. And local time, LT variation for the GMT is shown. Local time and GMT also shown for that. Each city has multiple airports. Each airport name and 3-letter code is provided. Suppose any city has a 2 airport. So it is airport name and 3-letter code is provided for that. Terminal information is included for the cities with the multiple terminals also. Now, when this is the departure city point, when it's checking the time, specify the required arrival time at the airport before departure. What the schedule time for the, what is the expected arrival time for this thing? Display in hour and minutes, verified by airline and flight. And common abbreviation, domestic flight, INT international flight, and MINS minutes, and HR hours. These are the abbreviation, and these are the key information helps to understand properly. Now we are coming to the surface transport. Provide the transportation detail between city center and airport via rail, road, and buses. Include journey time between the terminals and airport. If there is a 2 terminals for that, first terminal to second terminal, what is the time required for the journey time for this thing? So we can understand that it is in time we can also reach to this another terminal. Check-in time for the rail transport. Bus services between airport and nearby cities. And destination city. Listed in alphabetically, ordered with the 3-letter codes. For cities with the multiple airports, each arrival airport code and name is provided. And flight listing. Direct flight are listed first, followed by the flight required one or more transfers. And flight are arranged in alphabetically. Arrival and departure time used for 24-hour format, not 12-hour format. It is a 24-hour format for this thing. Flight validity, first and last day of the operation and operational days are indicated. Now flight timings and symbols. Departure time to local time departure and followed by the airport code. Arrival time, local time destination city followed by the airport code. And day arrival the indication to the asterisk giving the arrival to the next time plus arrival on the 3rd day. And these symbol arrival to the 4th day, and these symbol are provided the time zone crossovers. Now flight number structure. 2-letter IATA airline code. Earlier already discussed about the code, and numeric flight route code. Aircraft type and class services. Found under the general information and airport code section and shared to the design designator and code share flight indicate with the EB symbol in class column. Stop and multiple sector flight. International stop are marked as aim. It indicates to the multiple sector. Multiple sector routes are detailed under the flight routine. So it is going to the one stop to another city, the multiple stop, it also indicates in details for that. So passenger or traveler or user may not any problem. Now we are going to transfer the connection. Now OIG provides both direct and transfer connection. Some flight require changing aircraft between the origin and destination. An unpublished transfer connection, if OAG does not provide direct information, agent must refer to the airline timetables. So it is advisable. to the agent. If OAG does not provide a direct information, agent must refer to airlines timetables. Minimum connective time is crucial and covered in the next session. So these are transport connection. It is important in point of view of the tourist, in point of traveler, in point of the user, in point of view without the passengers also. Now, the example of the air travel itineraries and with the connecting transfer itinerary with the scheduled timings for that and the destination place for this thing. Airport codes. So Delhi, Delhi to LHR. That is the departure time is 11:30 day two and arrival to 16:20 day two also. And flight number VBS 301 and airport Boeing is 787 and class is economy Y and stop is 0. That means the airport codes, that airport code Delhi to Lahore, LHR, Delhi to LHR, then we can see something about that. That type of information is a help us. The BOM to MEL, then it is the day one, but it is a 145, then departure to 05. And also CX is equal to flight number, these are the flight and Boeing is what type of aircraft it is and class of the business Z and one stop one HKZ, Hong Kong. So these are the stuff that is the one stop for this thing. So example of air travel itinerary with the connecting transfer, where you are connecting for this thing, all the minor details are here. Now, summary of the minimum connecting time. What is the minimum MCT? What is the minimum connecting time for this thing? Definition. So what is the minimum connecting time? What is the definition? How to define for this thing? Now here is that the minimum connecting time is the minimum transfer time. So where do you connect the minimum transfer time required for a passenger to connect between the arrival and departing flight, arriving and departing flight. So this is the connecting time for that. It is predetermined, not it is a suddenly. It is predetermined by the airlines and airport authorities to ensure the smooth transition. So here it is the predetermined, not only it is decided earlier. Key factor influence the MCT, the airport layout and infrastructure. This is the layout and infrastructure, one of the important factors. Security procedure. Third is the type of connection. What type of connection is the domestic, international? What type of domestic to domestic, international to international, or domestic to international? The three options are there. And MCT regulation implementation. Every commercial airport worldwide must be adhered to minimum connecting time standard. There should be a minimum connected time. So suppose one passenger going to A place to B place, but the minimum time the land down in the C places, but he will go to the B places for that. The minimum connecting time should be required. Most airline website and booking engines will not allow the booking that violate the MCT restriction. So if there is a MCT restriction and not violating for this, they will not take any booking for this because it's a hazard for this, a problem creating for them. Now MCT in India. What in context of the India, what is that actually? Domestic to domestic flight, 1 hour to 1 hour 30 minutes. So it is the standard time 1 hour to 1 hour 30 minutes time. Domestic to international 1 hour 15 minutes time, and international to domestic 1 hour 30 minute time. International to 1 hour. So these are the standard maximum domestic to 1 hour 30 minutes, 1 hour to 1 hour 30 minutes, and there is the and minimum with a 1 hour for this thing. MCT for cargo also require a cargo transfer. The ensure the minimum time required to move cargo between the flights. The going to the cargo between the flights for the goods cargo flights, there is also minimum times required for them. Governance and regulation. MCT are governed by the IATA and PSC regulation 765 and must be followed by all ticketing and reservation system for that. So there is a standard regulations are there. IATA standard schedule information manual now include MCT data elements for the consistency and accuracy. Now we are going to the exception and the self-booked flight. If you the book the exceptional cases and also the self-booked flight. Now, Passenger booking the separate one-way flight might not be meet MCT condition may be considered. Airlines are not obligated to assist the compensate for the misconnection of the MCT is not met, and especially when different airlines are involved. So this is a very important for this thing for the passenger, for the also traveler. Rule of OG official airline guide. Update 1 lakh plus individual airport connection time and airline specific exclusion daily, and provide the benefits such as accurate flight connection for consumers, a competitive analysis for industry players, reduction and rebooking due to the broken connection, and supporting advanced cell booking technology. And conclusion, adhering to MCT, minimum connecting time ensure to airport efficiency, passenger convenience and operational safety. No, MCT is depend upon to the airport efficiency, passenger convenience and operational safety for this thing. MCT varies based on the airlines, connection point and terminal and flight class and must be strictly followed for this thing. So the travel agency, they should understand about the particular and also inform to the consumer or customer in advance. Now, air traffic. Just a minute. Now, air traffic. Definition of the airfare: the price paid to the airline travel, including the basic fare, taxes, and levies. So these are the base for this airfare: basic fare, taxes, and levies. Ticket can be one way or round up the trip for this thing. Fare variation: the price of the same seat on the same aircraft can differ due to the complex fare schedules. Complex pairs, if you given to the rate for the few days before, it is less. But if it the day on the journey, it is more. Depend upon to the demand and supply also. Airlines use a different pricing strategy and making fare ticketing difficult. And terminology, what is the terminology used for this? Fare or tariff is used for the air travel. Rates or tariff is commonly used in the hotel industry. Now here the fare or tariff is used for air travel, and rates or tariff is commonly used in the hotel industry. If you're going to the hotel industry, there is used the room rent, means room rate for this that term is the tariff. A definition by ATPCO Airline Traffic Publishing Company. A fare or tariff include both the price and condition for the travel. Both the price and condition for the travel. This is the tariff for the thing. Types of fare. Now, when we are talking to the types of fare, it is the published fare. Already published are the publicly available ticket price. And unpublished fare, not publicly available and may be obtained through certain channels. And negotiated fare, especially discount fare for corporate and government agency and organization. These are the point. And here a classification later indicate class of service, economy and business, etc. I represent the type of fare purchased beyond just travel class. Now we are coming to the published and unpublished air tariffs. Published tariff definition. Now how to define for the a published fare is available for purchase by anyone through airlines, through travel agents or online travel agencies, OTA. But pricing and rules, what is the price? Published fare are readily available. Their rules are standard across the airline. It is not vary from the one time. It is not vary. Price fluctuate, but when the price fluctuates multiple times, airline adjust maximizing revenue for this thing. So they fluctuate for this thing. The same fare price apply whether brought from a airline or travel agent or a online agency. Child and infant discount. Yeah, children under the 12 years, the 25 discount on the adult fare. And infants also under the 80% discount on the adult fare, and infants do not get a seat. So this is the condition. This is the other type of facilities are also available for testing. Government services are there, military services were there. Types of published year fare, apex fare, discount international fare requiring the advance purchase 7, 14, 21 days. And open the non-refundable and subject to the change of fees. This for the leisure travels with the fixed travel dates. Now we are coming to discount rate. What type of discount rate? Discount rate means lower fares for the limited times that it sits in. Strict rules such as minimum, maximum stay, and Saturday night day, and maximum 30 days. Restriction may be difficult to the retrieve online. And excursion fare, discount fare with the condition like the advance purchase and seasonal travel restriction applicable to the both domestic and international flight also. Now, unrestricted or flexible or full fare, most expensive fare type with no restriction, fully refundable, unchangeable tickets, ideal for business traveler who need to the flexibility for travel. And joint fares offer when airlines share a code share agreement on the select routes, with the cost saving and multi-airline trips, but comes with a restriction. Now we are coming to the through the fares. A fare a fare for a destination requiring a layover in a gateway city. When the gateway city, it is the fare restriction for this thing, can be combined with the other fare types of the lower price. When we are talking to the lower price, it can be done. And group fare, all available for groups for at least 10 passengers for this thing. And open non-refundable but can be rebooked with a fare difference. And key consideration for the airline do not offer every seat at a discount or excursion fare, cheaper fare, disappear as a flight fee. Restriction may include minimum maximum stay, travel time and day of week pricing the difference and change fee and mileage limits also. Discount based on the passenger age, child and senior fares also are available. Now, unpublished tariffs. What is the unpublished consolidated fares for this thing? Also known as a consolidated fare sold by third-party consolidation in the bucket to suffer. Non-available through the airline, directly not listed online or over the phone. Can be highly discounted but come with a variable rules. Some have strict no change policies. If that type of ticket, there is no change policy, while other allow for the modification. Seat selection, frequent flyer miles may or may not be available for them. Now, fare class codes, F and P is the first class, G and C the business class, Y the full fare economy, B, H, L and B is the discount economy fare, and X is the consolidated fare. So that this is the quota they are using for this. Now, very vehement fears. Definition: a special fear for the traveler attending the family funeral or visiting the terminally ill relative. This is also the option that the availability booking can be booked last minute, even up to the departure time. Offer only family member for a date or imminent date in the family and must be booked directly through the airline, not through a GDS global distribution system. Travel agents can help find the best very relevant fare option and pricing and discount. Not always the cheapest, but usually discount off all full unrestricted fare. Discount range from the 10% to 75%, with the 50% being the most common. More flexible than the standard fare, allow free change up to the 30 days stay with the no minimum stay requirement. This is a very vehement fare. Now we are kind of refund and documentation. What are the documentation refunds are required? Some airlines require full payment on upfront and refund the discount after the travel, usually within 90 days upon the submission and required documents. International very variant fares are less common, and some airlines only grant a discount after the travel upon the proof. That is a date certificate. A limitation and train not available in all the routes of the airlines, especially for the international travel. Some airlines no longer offer the very variant fares due to policy changes for that. Now we are coming to the factor impacting the airline airfares and tariff. General pricing policy airfare are determined through an auto pricing system based on 13 components, including the tariff, carrier, rules, and market and quantity. So this is the 13 component, including the tariff, carrier, rules, and market and quantity. If the more quantity, then it is the less for that. Airline use computer-assisted revenue management system to analyze historical demand and set fares. So they understand about the whether the demand will be there at the particular date or not. So past data also helps in this regard. Now, key factor affecting the airfare price seasonality. If the seasons, the seasonality in tourism, yeah, also seasonality part. If the in the seasonality, the demand of the air travel is more. Demand, not only demand, but in the particular season about the LTC, lift travel encashment are also in picture. When the lift travel encashment is there, it is the number of say year seats are also demanding for them. Now, demand increase during the holidays and vacation period, and leading to higher fares also. And the peak season, summer, Christmas, Diwali, etc., see the higher price, while off season have a lower fare also. And also depend upon to the distance. The longer the distance, the higher the airfare. Longer the distance, higher the airfare due to fuel consumption and operation cost. So longer distance has the more fair for this thing. Time and purchase. Last minute booking within 7 days of departure are significantly more expensive. In the condition of the last 7 days for departure, and the base time the booking domestic flight 2 to 3 weeks or 3.5 months before departure. 2 to 3 weeks or 3.5 months before the departure time. So it will be cheaper for that. Now, class and travel booking classes. Year fare varies by turns per class. Now it is a economic business first, economic class, business class, first class. Direct booking class exists within the each travel class and donated by the codes like the A1 full fare first class, J the full fare business class, A with the full fare economics for that. So this is the A, J, and Y are there. And competition. Airlines adjust pricing based on competitor fares. And discount, promotion, and deals are influenced with the market competition. Flight timing. Tuesday, generally Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday are usually cheapest day to fly. And peak travel days at the holiday result in the higher fares. Morning and late night flight tend to the more expensive. Morning and late night tend to the more expensive than the midday flight. The morning. Now, these are the more important. If you want to the cheap for this thing, morning and late night tend to the more expensive. So we should avoid this thing. If it is possible for cheaper. Fuel cost and uncertain. Fuel is a major cost of a component, and fair price reflect the fuel price fluctuation. And taxes, the government impose the surcharge, also the impact of airfare also. Actually, when we are talking to the fare of this thing, the basic fare depend upon to the cost of the fuels, cost of the fuel prices fluctuation, tax and government impose surcharge also. An additional factor, the global indicator influence fare calculation based on international routing and airline agreement. So they accept that we should need about the component of this particular airline agreement and international routing policies. Now we are the mode of the payment of the year fare. What is the mode of payment? Whether we can pay the cash, debit card, credit card, or others for them. Convenience in ticket purchase. Previously, ticket had to bought in airport or travel offices. Today, now the scenario is changed for the online booking makes purchase quick and easy with the multiple payment options are there. And common mode of payment, the PayPal, a popular secure payment method linking the bank account with the vendors, accepted the many airlines and online purchase with some exception. And bank transfer available to specific bank and customer transfer also. Record fund transfer via local bank ATM or online banking. Now, cash usually used mainly in physical booking at the agent or airlines kiosks. Common in emergency when customer lack what the payment methods for that. Gift cards and reward points. If you are given to the frequently travel for this thing, you are you are get to the gift card or your points used for full or partial ticket payments offered by airlines and third-party travel websites. Frequent traveler can freedom points for flight and hotels and upgraded for the same. These are the facilities are provided. Now debit cards, a widely used mode of the payment. Debit card is payment directly deduct from funds from the link to the bank to the no credit liability. So when you are going to the debit card for this as a cash for this thing, it is directly you transfer your bank to others bank for this thing. And credit card, it is the credit liability is there. The most popular payment method of flight booking accepted for in-person agent online booking include the third-party website and transaction must pass security check for online purchases for this thing. So they get the security checks for the purchasing. Popular credit card types. What are the popular credit card types? Where transaction generally we have seen also Visa, Mastercard, MX, Diners Club, and Rupee, and Maestro also. So in India, also Visa, Mastercard, Diners Club, and Rupee now they are popular for that. Some airlines or airport launches offer the exclusive benefit for the certain credit card and holder that directly given to the benefit to the customer. If you purchased through Visa card, will give you a certain percentage of discount or other benefits for that. Now, benefit of using the credit card for the airfare. What are the benefit? Credit card for this thing. It the accumulated rewards for them. It is earn reward point with each purchase and it is redeemable by the for flight tickets and upgraded and other travel services. So this is that reward point also help us to get some benefit to the user. And frequent flyer program assign additional point to the certain credit card user. So these are the accumulated reward fund and launch access. Hey, if you take a certain credit card, then you free airport launch entry for special service for specific credit card holders. If you get a certain, it is a time to time it is changed for this thing and credit score improvement. UG can repay the credit card on time, improve credit score, enable better future credit opportunity. When you're taking to the credit to the, if you pay to the in time, then you enable better future credit opportunity. Maintain a positive financial record with the tax authorities. Now checking the privilege, some airline offer priority check-in, upgrade and additional benefit of frequent flyer using the specific credit codes. If you have the specific credit card, they are also given certain privilege for this thing. Now we are completed to the unit number 8. Now again we are going to familiarization with the travel information manual team. I'll discuss what this thing. Uh, no one. Okay. Unit number 9, familiarization with the travel. Family, Familiarization with the travel information manual team. Introduction to international travel documents and team. It is the complexity of international travel documentation. What is the complexity for this thing? Requirement vary the based on the country origin, which country you are belonging for that destination, and transit point, and purpose of your travel, residency status, passport type, and health condition. These are requirement. It is also complex, but if all the conditions should be fulfilled, the COVID-19 pandemic has increased the importance of the health status in travel regulation. So in the COVID period, it is very increased the importance of the health status. The role of the team, travel information manual. Team is a comprehensive guide containing up-to-date data regulation for the air travelers. Published by the IATA, International Air Transport Netherlands Data Publication INDP, used by airlines and travel agents and advised the passenger on required documentation. Airline check the team at boarding to ensure the passenger have the necessary documentation or document partition. Significance of the team. What are the significance? The leading global secure for the air travel regulation. Gather information from the immigration authority, the travel industry, and the World Health Organization. Now, initially published monthly in print, now available the regular update digital version for this thing. So, particularly in this particular, we can understand what are the requirement for this thing, how to document, how to pass the documentation without any hazards. Now, information covered in the team contain the travel regulation for over the 200 countries, organized alphabetically by the country with the 6 main sections: passport, identity, visa, where you are going to the it, it is the permission, hail, airport tax, custom, and currency. Application of the team only apply to the air traveler, different regulations to land of the sea of travel. Passengers should verify the regulation with the embassy to or consulate to the destination country for the non-air travel. Important for tourism for professional, essential for travel to read, interpret, and apply the team correctly. Ensure the smooth travel by preventing document-related travel restriction. Now we are coming to the how to read a team or travel information management. The passport, history of the passport and visa. In 19 and early 20th century, 19 and early in 20th century, passport and visa were not required for travel within the Western Europe. So this is the 19 and to early in the late 19th, passport were not required for travel within the Western Europe. After World War I, passport and visa became mandatory travel documents. World War One. Definition of passport and the purpose of the passport. What, what is the definition of this? A government issued document certifying the nationality and identity of its holder. When you are hold to the passport, any passport of the country for this thing, it is indicated your nationality, first nationality, and in the identification, who are you now? And essential for international travel and content the personal details such as what is the contents of the demographic profiles of the what are their full name, first and surname, then date and place of birth, and photogram and signature, and machine readable barcode in some cases. So there are full names, full name, first and surname, date and place of birth, photograph and signature, and machine readable barcode numbers. Barcode. So it can be easily identified. Number, passport validity requirement. What are the requirement for the team? It lists passport validity rules for each country. Most countries require passport to be valid for at least 6 months beyond the date of entry. And some countries like UK, USA require minimum 1 year validity. Role of the travel agents. What are the role of the travel agent in this case of passport? Agent must ensure traveler understand their passport requirement. So if you're going to the one place to another place, when you are crossing to the national boundary, it is required. It is the traveler responsibility. Agents should remind. It is traveler responsibility to have the all necessary documentation for international travel. Now we are coming to the types of passport. What type of passport in India? Generally, we have seen ordinary passport, tourist, and normal passport issued by the citizen and other national for general travel. Most common type of passport. This is the ordinary passport. Official passport, service special passport issued to government employees and their dependents for official work related travel. Official work related travel. Now, diplomatic passport issued to the diplomats. They are taken to the and government official for official international travel. And diplomatic immunity is not automatically granted by the passport. It must be covered by the government. Now, emergency passport, temporary passport, and leisure passport issued by the individual who lost or had their passport stolen and need urgent travel. The licensed passport is a special travel document issued by the government or international organization, United Nations for humanitarian or official travel. These are the requirements for this. Now we are coming to the family passport. Joint passport issued by family issued to family members, father, mother, son, and daughter under one passport. This is a joint passport. The passport holder can travel alone or with the family member. In the family member, but family member cannot travel without the passport holder permission. So here, head of the family should be a responsibility. Passport renewal versus reissue. Renewal extend the validity of the existing passport. Generally, now it is in India most probably 10 years. Reissue, a new passport is issued due to the change in the information or loss of the previous passport. Biometric passport and contract less travel. Biometric passport contain means microchip that store the identification data, facial, iris, and fingerprint recognition. Many international airports, just like Dubai International, if through have implemented no-touch system for seamless immigration. E-borders, electronic border control, use the biometric data stored in the chip for identity verification. These are the systems are now coming in digital era. Now checking the passport and come use the team. Now step one, establish the nationality and travel documents. Identify the nationality on the passport or identity document the traveler will use. Some traveler may hold dual nationality or multiple travel document as for a refugee card, national passport. Example, Mr. Shah, Australian passport and Palestinian refugee card traveling to Dubai. Mr. Shah, within the Australian passport, he gets a visa on arrival. With the refugee card, he must apply for visa in advance. Base practice request a copy of passport for accurate verification. Now, step two, identify all the visited and transit countries. Transit country requirements are often overlooked but are crucial. Example, an Indian passport holder traveling to Costa Rica via New York needs a USA transit visa. An Australian passport holder on the same route does not require a transit visa. Best practice, read the entire passport section of each country in alphabetically order. Now, step 3, verify the passport and validity exemption. Country specify minimum passport validity requirement. Egypt requires a passport valid 3 months beyond the intended stay. Example, Bahman's and Canadian and US passport holder are exempted from the passport requirement. Other need to 6-month validity. Warning, traveler transiting through the US must hold the correct US transit visa. Understanding the exemption. TM may have the section like the passport required for except for holders of. Example, Egypt exempt hold to the laser passport document issued by United Nations, Jordan, and Lebanon. Understand the laser passport and other document found in term and condition section of team. It is very necessary to understand. Travel professional must understand special travel document like lazy person to correctly advise passenger about the passport exemption. So it should be the advisable to read properly and understand. Now, information from the passport section obtained. What is the exemption list individual who do not need the passport to enter the specific country. So these are the and validity specify the how long the passport must be valid for entry into the country. Admission and transit restriction. Identify who may be denied entry to transit through the country based on the certain circumstances. Additional information include the special entry for suggestion, registration with the authority within the certain period after arrival. Example, Pakistani nationals in India must register with the local intelligence unit. So these are the system are going on. Now, minors. Minors is the age of certain criteria there. Detailed rules of the travel under the 16th. Then under the 16 are called to the minors, but that's age restriction. Example, Earlier restriction in the Middle East to protect the minor from the being used as a camel showcase. And the precaution when the checking the passport information. Always check transit country. Passport the rule to avoid the unexpected travel issues. Now read the additional notes indicated by the number of black boxes as they contain the supplementary information for this thing. Now we are coming to how to read the visa. Now we are completed to the passport also. Visa. What is actually visa for this thing? A government issued document that permit, we can say it is the permit, legal entry into the foreign country. So when whether that is passport is the identification, country's identification, it is the where you are going for the it is the permit for this thing. Visa stand for visa visited, intended stay abroad. Visa visitor, intended stay abroad. And specific is the duration of stay, number of age, and work permission for that. Types of permit or visa can be issued as a stamp, sticker, printer, document, or electronic authorization, whatever that may grant the access to enter country, specific region, or district. Now, for entry permission and revocation, final entry approval is given by the immigration officer at the point of the entry. A visa can be revoked at any time by the issuing country. Visa as a secondary travel document. In modern travel, passports serve as a primary travel document, and while visa are the secondary. Primary and secondary both are required for that. Visa type vary based on the traveler profile, maybe ordinary citizen to diplomat or defense personnel. Now we are coming to the types of visa and how to read the types of visa, the transit visa. Recall when the passing through the country, with the transit from one country to reach another. Validity ranges from the few hours to up to 10 days, depending on the transit circumstances. Now, substep, airside transit visa, required for the passenger passing through the airport with, without clearing the passport control. Now, crew visa issued to the airline crew, ship personnel, and truck and bus driver, etc. So these are the requirements for this thing. Now we are coming to short stay visiting visa for temporary visit, private visa for visiting tent for family in a foreign country, tourist visa for short-term leisure travel with no work permission, medical visa for receiving medical treatment abroad, business visa allow business related activity but not full-time employment, working holiday visa permits short-term work while traveling, and artistic visa issued by athletic and performance support the crew, and cultural exchange visa granted the participant in the cultural exchange program, and refugee visa given to the people fleeing war and persecution, I mean natural disaster for this thing. These are the sort type of visa we can use for this thing. Now we're checking. Now we come to long stay visa for the extended period but not permanent. Student visa. It is now it is popular for staying at an education institute abroad. Temporary work visa for employment. H1B or L1 visa in the USA. Now, journalist visa required for the journalist in some countries, there's a Cuba, Iran, North Korea, Saudi Arabia, USA, whatever that. A residence visa and other type of e-visa, electronic visa, stored digitally in a database, not stamped or printed on the passport. Traveler carry a printout of the digital record as a proof. Now, immigrant versus non-immigrant visa. Immigrant visa allow permanent residency, and non-immigrant visa issued for the temporary stay, that is the tourism study and work for that. And citizen visa for the Europe allow entry into 26 European countries without border check, valid for the multiple entry within the 5-year period but limited to the 90 days within the 180 days. Now, Now, how to read the team visa section? Team assume all national requires visa except the listed exemption. Warnings for the compliance. What is that? Example: Zimbabwe. Passenger without proper visa will be deported to their point of origin. Example: COVID-19 rules. A passenger not vaccinated at origin but required to be vaccinated at the destination may be deported. And transit without visa. Example: Jordan. Passenger transit under the 6 hours inside the airport do not need a visa. Passengers staying less than 24 hours but traveling on one must leave their passport within the immigration. Additional information special condition. Example: Jordan. Traveler must have onward or return tickets. Exit or re-entry permit required for the some profession, that is the performing hours and needed income tax clearance before departure. Now we are coming to the validity of visa. What is the time duration for them? Visa validity, the period between the issuing and expiration of the visa, determining the time frame within which a traveler can reach the port entry. Now types of visa: single entry visa, allow only one entry into the issuing countries. If the traveler exists, they must apply for a new visa to return, suitable for short trips or vacation, generally cheaper and easier to obtain. Multiple entry visa permit multiple entry into issuing country within visa's validity and period. Terms vary based on the issuing country. Some have specific limits, such as double entry or triple entry visa. Many multiple entries visa allow unlimited entries until the expiration. Expire for this thing. How to read the health, team health? Health requirement for the travel. Every country has specific health related requirement, such as vaccination for entry. It is a common factor for that. To check a passenger health requirement, identify all the countries the traveler will visit. Consider the order of visits, such as health regulation may differ based on the departure points. Check each country health section in team for the specific requirement. Now, infection disease in team. Disease listed in team are based on high global or regional prevalence, position, poisoning risks of travelers. Now, severity of life-threatening nature, even the risk is low. Now, again, perceive the risks being the higher than the actual risks and causing the traveler anxiety. Public health concern due to the risks of transmission. Example, some person section team include the general health information. Remember that the reference to the section listing the endemic disease like the yellow fever and cholera. The vaccination certificate check. The international certificate vaccine is required to certain diseases. It must be properly completed and signed by the authorized entities. The issued by the National Health Administration or recognized agency like the WHO, FO, UNESCO. Printed in English and French within the optional third language. Now we are coming to traveler must check the vaccination requirement for destination entry. Departure country include for return travel, transit point. Passengers should try consult a doctor before travel. As some vaccination, yellow fever, cholera require up to 20 days to complete. Health-related travel restriction. Passenger may be subject to surveillance, monitoring, and digit the symptom if the valid vaccination certificate is missing. Quarantine. Mandatory the isolation if the health authorities suspect a risk. A airline must report the quarantine cases to WHO. Uh, Geneva, in pandemic cases, we have the quarantine. Airline may be subject to detention. The aircraft may be detained for disinfection if passenger has cholera or yellow fever. Yellow fever. Operational suspension, COVID-19 and SARS. airline may grounded initiating Babel agreement process. This is the important for the safety measure. Now we are coming to how to the definition of the custom. Custom regulation govern the import and export luggage. When you come to import into both Indian customs are important role. And cargo passenger and airline, the team custom section provide the details on import and export allowances, baggage clearances, wild flora and fauna regulation, and prohibited items, paid travel rules, and firearms and weapons policy. These are the conditions should be maintained for them. General custom regulation. Rules cover various items and generally apply to many countries. Number one, holiday purchase and gifts are subject to custom regulation. Now, with wildlife and CITES regulation, many countries follow the Convention of International Trade in Endangered Species, regulated live animals and plants, animal and plant part derivatives. The IATA live animal regulation provides a complete list of protected species. Travel agents should be aware these regulation as overseas person may be affected. And paid travel regulation, the paid travel regulation is the most important and crucial also. Pet. What is the paid actually? Cat, dogs, pet, bird, etc. are subject to specific rule. If they travel with the passenger to a baggage, cabin, or cargo hold, they are not commercial purpose. Now, important requirement for include vaccination certificate of cats and dogs and veterinarian health certificate from the departure point, import the permit required by the some country, quarantine period for the certain destination, and transit restriction may also apply with the some animal banned from the transit for one part to another part. These are the mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 are the most crucial for the in case of the pets. Now checking the regulation. Always check the custom and airline specific rule before booking the travel. It is advisable. Team's custom section may lengthy, but it is structured for easy reference. Passengers should review all custom regulation before traveling to avoid the issue to entry point. Now we are how to read the team currency. Currency. Now currency. When you are going to the one place, currency is very important role. Important of currency regulation. Each country has a different currency system. Rules for country import and export.
Yanzu
Team
magana da
provide
aje
the
kuɗin nan.
essential currency related information,
Na
including
fara.
country's currency name and three-letter code. The limit for the local foreign currency varies from the resident to non-residents. Conditions are restriction on the carrying the currency. Rules for importing and precious metal, just like gold, silver, etc. And also diamond, you can say also. Penalties for the non-compliance, fine, imprisonment in some countries. The currency section team is usually concise and clearly structured. Now we are coming to the foreign country limits. Example of India. Local currency Indian rupees. Maximum Indian rupees 25,000 can be carried into India. And a Pakistan and Bangladesh national resident outside they cannot carry Indian rupees. Foreign currency, if carrying more than $25,000 are equivalent in cash or 9,000 travel check, declaration is required. Foreign Exchange Management Act FIMA. FIMA 99 replaced the FIRA to regulate the foreign exchange in India. It facilitates external trade and payment and maintain the orderly forex market. FEMA allows the resident, include the minor, to remit the USD 2,50,000 per financial year. Year mean in the financial April, 1st April to 31st March for any permissible transaction. Now we are coming to the FEMA applies to foreign exchange and security transaction, import and export of the goods and services, security under the Public Debt Act 1994, purchase, sale and exchange asset, banking, financial and insurance services, NRI, non-residents of India, owing to over the 60% foreign company, Indian citizen residing inside or outside of the country. And key takeaway of this tabula, always Team currency section before travel to ensure the compliance. Be aware of declaration or requirement and penalties for violation. Understand the currency restriction for both the destination and departure country. Now we have a travel insurance. Now it is one of the thing is that insurance is also one of the important factors, important document also. Now what is that actually travel in? Travel insurance provides the coverage. What is the coverage for? Coverage for medical and financial issue that may be arise while traveling abroad. If the medical purpose they are given to the benefit for this thing and also ensure their life also instead of if any accident is going to they are also compensated. Types of coverage. Various travel insurance policies offer the different level of protection. What is that? Ki baggage protection. If the baggage protection cover lost and delayed check baggage, document safety, cover loss of important documents just like a passport, medical expenses include the cover of the personal accident, dental treatment, hospitalization, and emergency transportation, personal liability, protect against the accident or damage caused by the others, hijacking the compensation, provide the financial assistance in case of hijacking, financial emergency or assistance, offer the coverage of unexpected financial crisis, uh, crisis during the travel important. Some countries legally require travel insurance for entry. Like vaccination, it is necessary and a precaution for safe travel. Ensure the peace of mind, financial security, making it wise investment, especially international travel. Now we thematic. The definition travel information manual automatic. It's a digital database used by airline and travel agent to verify the passenger travel document and requirement to recommend as per IATA. What is the purpose for this thing? Ensure the passenger meet entry requirement to prevent fitness, prevent the fine for airline due to incorrect documentation. Key information in thematic, passport requirement and recommendation, visa requirement and recommendation, health requirement, vaccination, airport taxes payable at the departure or arrival, custom regulation for goods and patent import and export, currency regulation on import and export, applicable every nationality traveling to any country, integrated into reservation and departure control system. Benefit of the digital thematic for the travel industry, reduce fine and repatriation cost for airline. It is and decrease the operational and staffing and training expenses. Improve the self-service check-in efficiency, enhance the overall customer experience for that. Now we are coming to the completed the unit number 9. Oh, unit number 9. Now, unit number 10, passenger handling services. Passenger, when you are talking to the passenger handling services, introduction to air travel passenger handling, definition of the passenger, who are the passenger, a person, just a minute. Now, who is the passenger for that? A person traveling on a aircraft who is neither piloting nor working on it requires valid documentation and contract carriages to access the airport boards and disembark. So these are the passenger traveling on the aircraft who is neither piloting nor working on it and require the valid documentation, contract and carriage a passenger ticket, a legal agreement between the airline and passenger, must be carried at all times for airport entry, checking security, immigration, and boarding. Include the key travel detail, passenger name, it is required, itinerary and fare, PNR, passenger name record, departure and arrival gate if applicable, value added services, the free meals, and code share flight and stopover detail if applicable. Tickets are non-transferable and may not be refundable. So these are the passenger name, itinerary fare, PNR, departure, arrival, value-added service, and codes here. These are the already details should be there. Now we are coming to the rule of the travel information manual. Provide the accurate and valid information on travel documentation and passenger handling. Passenger handling services, specialized airline personnel, assist the passenger for smooth. That means staff of the specialized airline, smooth travel experience. Service cover international airlines, private fleets, and chartered clients. Staff ensure a seamless experience from arrival gate to boarding. Proper passenger handling is crucial for customer satisfaction. And topic covering this unit: passenger handling from check-in to embarkment and disembarkation, special need for passenger handling as per team guidelines, and challenges in passenger handling. These are the topic will be covered in this particular embarkment and disembarkment. Embarkation or boarding process. The boarding process. This going up. The process of loading the passenger onto an aircraft, including check-in, security check, and immigration clearance. 3. Check-in, security check, and immigration. Step in the embarkation process. Arrival at the airport. Passenger present the photo ID card and boarding pass, digital or print, whatever that. Checking, what is the checking? Passenger check in the counter, self-service kiosks, passenger baggage check and boarding passes. Security check, all passenger and belongings are scanned for safety. Now here, immigration. A check for international travel. Passenger present valid travel documents such as passport, visa, travel insurance, health certificate, forest card, proof of stay, etc. Airline must ensure proper documentation to prevent the fine or delays. Boarding or lunch, passenger wait for flight boarding announcement. Boarding gate and aircraft entry, passenger board the aircraft in order or seat allotment, privilege or special needs. Boarding pass are verified before entry. And now, disembarkation. What is the deboarding? One is inboarding and deboarding. The process of passenger and crew exi- exiting the aircraft and collecting their baggage before leaving the airport. Step in disembarkation process, deboarding the airport, passenger exits in orderly manner, row by row. International passenger receive the custom declaration form during the flight. Immigration check for international arrival, passenger present travel document for entry into the country. If documents are incorrect, the passenger may be deported or held. Now, baggage claim. Passenger collect check-in baggage from the designated belt. In case of lost the baggage, passenger must report immediately. Custom clearance and departure. International passenger declare high value item at customs. False declaration are criminal offense. After clearance, passenger exits the airport. Now, this is the passenger arrival to the airport, checking the kiosks, baggages for this thing, security check for this thing, boarding the lounge and board the aircraft. Now here is the passenger, also the same person. There is the baggages for this thing, checking, lounge and partition. The embarkation and the embarkation process and source of the research get made. Now, responsibility of passenger handling. Responsibility of passenger handling. Passenger handling in airport involve multiple tasks. Rating for the basic assistant, direction, meal, and request. Whatever meals they are veg or non-veg or to. To complex services, what are the complex security check, baggage handling, immigration. These responsibility can be classified into two main groups. Responsibility of airline management. Ticketing and reservation services. Issuing the ticket to every passenger, adult, child, and infant or pet must hold a valid ticket. Booking the option, passenger can book ticket online through a travel agent or at the airport counters. Now, digital versus paper ticket printouts are no longer required. Digital copies are acceptable because it is sustainable way also. Record the document, international traveler need passport, visa, and PNR. No cancellation refund. If it is cancelled for the what is the procedure to get it? Airline process price scheduling, refund and ticket cancellation. Full refunds are issued if the airline cancel. Passenger initiate a cancellation may be incur fees. Passenger check-in and boarding services, check-in process. Passenger can check in at any counter, self-service kiosk or online, and receive the boarding pass, baggage tag and seating details, baggage handling, check-in baggage, luggage handed over the airline step and tagged in the, for transportation and cabin baggage and small bags stored in overhead the compartment. Just a minute. Carry. The passenger check-in and boarding service is check-in process. What are the processing? Passenger can check the counter, self-service kiosk or online. Receive the boarding process, baggage tags and seating the details. Baggage handling, check-in baggage, luggage handed over to the airline staff and tag the transportation for that. Cabin baggages, small bags stored in the overhead compartments, and certain wages are there. Carry on baggage include the laptops, handbags, and essential. Excess baggage, extra charges apply for exceeding waiting, demands and limit. Baggage the loading after tagging, baggage is segregated, reconciled, and loaded into the aircraft cargo section. And boarding the gate service. Passenger board. Uh, boarding boarding get the services passenger board the flight. Cargo management include the baggage handling, tracking the transport and tracing the missing language. Responsibility externally managed turn. Security and safety check. Passenger and their belongings undergo through the scanning. Security personnel have their authority to approve or deny airport entry. In India, security is handled by CIASF personnel under the government of India. Baggage screening. X-ray scanner detect the restricted item, weapons and explosive. Screening is usually done before checking. Now, immigration and custom clearance, immigration check international traveler only, conducted twice at the departure and arrival airport, official vary passport, visa and other travel documents. Incorrect documentation can result in deportation or detention. Customer clearance. The passenger declare a high value item and follow the duty regulation. Two channel for the custom clearance. One is green channel, another is red channel. Green channel, no dutiable goods on minimum check. And red channel, declaration of dutiable goods require duty fees apply. Air traffic control and passenger facilitation yet provide real-time updates on weather, aircraft parking, and taxiing routes. Passenger facilitation services ensure a smooth and seamless airport experiences and include the lounge services and the shopping area and restroom facility and customer support. Now, key takeaway, what is the key takeaway for them? Airline responsibility, ticketing, check-in, baggage handling, boarding, cargo management, and external and team responses, securing check baggage, screening, immigration, custom, air traffic control, etc. And efficient passenger handling ensure the safety, smooth operation, and customer satisfaction. Now, the out-of-pocket expense. The definition, what is the out-of-pocket expense? Is a provisional compensation provided by airlines for mishandled baggage, delay, damage, or loss. That is the out-of-pocket expense. And standard OPE guideline, maximum OPE is USD 125 per ticket passenger and daily limit is USD 24 per day. And OPE is not issued by the same day. The baggage is reported missing. Passenger must provide a list of baggage content before OPE approval. Passengers should retain boarding pass and receipt for the compensation claim. Now we have an OPE limitation and exclusion not available for passenger at a home, passenger whose baggage is out of delivery, non-refundable body pass and airline employees discount the travelers. Each airline handle log must document APE details for submission. Exception, OP is not provided if the baggage delay was passenger fault. That is packing the restricted item like the battery or electrical device in the check bag. Now we are coming to the passenger with the special needs. General information, passenger with the special need require the individual attention during the boarding and deep planning the flight and emergency evacuation and ground the handling. Airline require passenger to fill out the special needs for before traveling. Categories of the special needs passenger vary by airline by commonly include incapacitated passenger, passenger requires special assistance due to physical, medical, and mental, and we get the MEDA medical care STR stage per. These are the some deep passenger. These are the codes are used for and to understandable for that common people. Now, pregnant woman up to the 28 week, it can fly without doctor reports. If it is 28 to 36 the weeks, the pregnancy, they require the doctor certification and stating the fitness to fly and issued by the 7 days before the flight. And beyond the 36, not beyond the 36, is not allowed to fly. So, infants, airline policy many require babies to be at least 1 week old to fly. And some airlines accept the infant only after 14 days of birth and are accompanied by an adult. Infants do not have a seat, but bassinet is provided for free. Unaccompanied minor son. Children 7 to 11 years can travel along with the parental consent. Parent and guardian must fill an authorization form stating medical needs and the person picking up the child. Airline provides full supervision from check-in to arrival, ensuring safe handover at the destination. Senior traveler families with the young children. Senior traveler can request assistance for boarding, check-in baggage, handling, wheelchair, and special meal. Family with the young children are provided assistance at the airport and priority boarding wherever possible. Traveler with disabilities. Airline must provide the assistance to passengers with disabilities, including the wheelchair, medical aid, and their interpreters. Some airlines offer Braille magazine and service to the people with an intellectual disabilities. No airline can refuse to carry the passenger in stretcher, incubators, or with some severe mobility impairments impairments provided by they have an escort to assist them. So it is a standard way for this. A passenger with the hearing or vision impairment can travel along with the necessary airline assistance. Not traveling with the pets. If it traveling with the passenger must ensure their pets are in good health. So its certification is needed. And earlier already it is discussed. The veterinarian can certify for this and provide the complete detail to the airline in advance. Proper planning help ensure pet well-being and avoid issues during their travel. Important passenger include the government official, military commander, and official delegates. Commercially imported passenger, high profile individuals such as civil aviation director, chief executive officer, media professional, celebrities, and travel writer who enhance the airline's reputation. A very important person, VVIP, head of state, crown princes, prime minister, and president, along with the spouse, receive the special attention. Now with the key takeaway. Airline accommodate passenger with a special need through the advanced planning and dedicated assistance. Special needs from help airline prepare for medical, mobility and security requirement. Strict policy apply to the pregnant woman, unaccompanied minor and infant for the safety reason. Disabled passengers are entitled to assistance and airlines cannot deny service to those require the medical support. VIPs and influential individuals receive the priority handling to maintain the airline reputation. Now, challenges of passenger handling. What are the challenges they are received for this? Passenger handling involve various challenges that airline staff are taking, and management, airport authority, and booking for the proper training, information, and authority for airline staff are crucial to resolve this issue. If there is a problem, the, they have the ability to manage it for decision making. Difficulties of passenger. Airlines that frequently encounter the unpredictable and challenging passenger. Regardless of fault, staff must remain patient, professional, and offer the solution while maintaining a positive attitude. Technical glitches. The aviation industry heavily rely on technological of ticketing, checking, and flight operation. And system failure can disrupt the passenger handling, requiring staff to communicate promptly and provide the alternative, ensuring sustainability. The aviation industry contributes significantly to carbon emission and noise pollution. Airlines face the pressure from governing bodies like UNWTO, World Tourism Organization, to adopt the sustainable practices, which can be challenging as the air travel continues to grow. Now, with increase in the air traffic, growth in aviation means more flights, more passengers. When you're talking to the more passengers are there, and higher operational demand. Limited manpower resources lead to the operation pressure and fatigue and stress, the especially bad weather and peak travel period. Managing air traffic control efficiency. Just a minute. Managing air control traffic efficiency is crucial to avoid delays and maintain the safety. Cutthroat competition, airline face intense competition, leading to fare reduction and staff downseating. Employees often struggle with increased workload and reduce the benefit and causing the dissatisfaction. And unhappy workflows impact the service quality, passenger experience, and overall airline performance. Is there any question regarding this? Key takeaways. Human interaction challenges such as handling difficult passenger require patience and professionalism. Technical failure can disrupt that, demanding the quick problem solving. Environmental sustainability remains a major amid growing air travel demand and rising air travel strain resources leading to the operational difficulties. Industry competition force uh, cost-cutting measure affecting staff morale and service quality. Despite this challenge, proper training, communication, and strategic planning can help airline ensure the smooth and safe passenger handling experience. Now we have completed the unit number 10. Now we come to unit 11, fear construction. Introduction to airfare. Definition of the airfare. Airfare is the fee paid by the passenger for the air transport. It includes the cost of travel from the origin to destination and the rules, condition, and the restriction applied to the ticket. Oxford language define airfare as the price to be paid by an aircraft passenger for a particular journey. The key definition of fare charges for travel from one city to another, then with origin to destination. Travel amount paid by passenger include the rules and restriction, charge for the specific flight segment and city fare for this thing. The component of the airfare 11 elements are there. When the market, city pair, origin and destination first, rule number of define the fare condition, fare class, whether it is the economy, business, executive, specific ticket category, that is the economy or business, one way or round trip, or identify the journey time, in MPA maximum permitted mileage, or routing the number distance limit for the fare validity, and footnote optional additional the condition currency used for the fare pricing, fare amount, cost of the ticket, and effective date of fare becomes the valid, and discontinue the date fare expired and mileage distance pricing. Now we are coming to the fear and the rule component. Define airfare product, service and price. Include the origin, destination fare class, strike rule, one way around, fare amount, validity dates, and mileage restriction. Publish fare in GDS, the global distribution system applied to direct the travel with no stopover rules and permitted under the routing the rules. Mileage system in year calculation applied in the passenger travel by multiple cities, making stopover or connection. It is a direct fare is not published and maximum permitted and display in GDS. Ticket point mileage measures short test flight distance between cities and global indicator GI, that is EH, AP and TS, so the directional travel and impact the NPM calculation. Now we have come to the key takeaway. What are the key takeaways we are taking for this thing? Year pair include the both pricing and rule components. Year pair would include the pricing rule component and determine the ticket cost and restriction. Mileage-based pricing applied when the direct tool is unavailable using MPA and TLPA. Global indicator include the NPM and depending on the travel direction. GDS display the publish the few into the standardized pricing for the airlines and travel agents. Now, terminology for the year fares. Understanding the key fare terminology is essential for the tourism travel profession. That terminology is the guided tools for this particular case. When selecting the routes, preparing the ticket, and calculating the fares. So this whatever the terminology will come, that should be understood and remembered. Below are the important terms. Country of the commencement, COC. Definition, what is the definition? The point of city where the itinerary starts. Example for the LON to NYC fare. COC is the United Kingdom. Important. Determine the final fare in local currency. Transit. Definition. The definition, the waiting time, the waiting time between two connecting flights. Waiting time between the two. Suppose a flight is going to one to another. What waiting is what is the waiting time between the connecting flight? Condition must not be exceed 24 hours. So it should not be more than 24 hours. Now, passenger must stay within the airport unless permitted. Transit area, the designated space where passengers wait for their next flight. STP is the stopover for the purpose of connection. Now available for the long transit 8 to 24 hours. And some airlines allow passenger to leave the transit area without a visa. Passenger must return to the airport 3 hours before the departure. So here, passenger must return to the airport 3 hours before the departure. Check baggage remains within the airline. Now we are going to state is stopover for the purpose of connectivity. When passenger has a long layover, 8 to 24 people boarding the next flight, what are the conditions? If the transit exceed the 24 hours, what condition? Within 24 hours they can do it, but transit visa is required. Either more than 24 hours ago, the transit visa is required. Even the passengers stay inside the airport can be prepared pre-booked with the airline. Sometime an additional cost. Airlines may provide STPC voucher or hotel accommodation. Travel agent's role, check fare notes before issuing the e-ticket to confirm if the STP is included. Now, stopover definition is stay or more than at the intermediate cities between origin and destination. Suppose A city to going to the C city and B is the intermediate city for the 24 hour, not more than 24 hours. Example, a passenger traveling from Delhi to London via Doha and staying in the Doha for the several days at a stopover in Doha require valid visa and travel documents. Now, airline policy. What are the airline policy? Some allow free stopover while others charge the extra prohibited thing. If the fare does not allow stopover, staying beyond the core in the connecting city may be considered unauthorized stopover. So here may be conclusion for this thing and remember. Example of the unauthorized stopover. A passenger booked NYC to LAX via in Indianapolis or stay in the Indianapolis overnight. If the fare does not allow stopover, this violates the ticket rules. Now, what's the key takeaways? COC determine fare pricing based on departure country. Transit is a short layover less than 24 hours. Stopover are longer more than 24 hours. STPC is a special arrangement for layover 8 to 24 hours, often provided by airlines. Stopover require valid visa and may or may not be allowed by the airlines airports. Travel agent must check the fare condition to avoid the ticketing issue and the inform passenger in advance. Now, types of journey in airfare calculation. Identify the type of journey is the first step in the airfare calculation. Journey are category as follows: one day, one way. Definition: travel from origin to destination without returning. Key features of one way. Definition of the one way: travel from origin to destination without returning. Key feature: the origin and destination are different. Example: LON to PA or London to Paris. Key takeaways: understanding the types of journey help to determine the correct fare structure. One way tips do not involve return leg. Additional journey tip, round trip, circle trip, open jaw may exist, which is part of the pricing rules. Now, these are the one way examples. Now, round trip. What is the definition of the round trip? A journey where the traveler departs from one point two returns. One point to return to the same point. One point to destination, destination to return. Using the same route. Key feature, the origin and final destination are the same. A to B, B to A. An example, JFK to London and up to Delhi and to London and JK, returning this particular New York to London, London to Delhi and back to by the same route. That means New York to back and same places are coming. Then when that is the return journey. Round it. London, airport to Paris, then come back for the round trip. Now, a round trip in the world, a journey where the traveler circle the globe, crossing the international line and visiting multiple destinations. Key feature, the journey starts and end at the same point. Journey ends, start and end at the same point. One crossing to Atlantic Ocean and crossing to the Pacific Ocean. Now this is the pictorial form for this thing. The it is the New York to same you coming to the New York. The same thing for this. Now we are coming to the circle trip. This is the circle trip. And this is also the circle trip. Now, define what is the circle trip? A journey where the traveler starts from one location. Journey starts from the one location. Begin multiple locations, B, C, then return and return to the starting point. Here, A, B, C, D, then starting point. This is circular trip. Example, that is the New York. Again, you are back to the New York and doing to the to the Delhi, London to Delhi, etc. Now we are coming to the open journey. A journey where the traveler flies into the one city and depart from another, traveling between them to other means, train, car, etc. The key feature: the traveler doesn't return from the same city they arrived in. Example, London to Paris, travel by land and NCT to London, London to Paris by air and travel within the France, then return to the Nice to London. Types of open jaw, normal open jaw. They apply when the traveler at the normal pairs. When they turn around the normal pair, a type or energy where the second city is the turnaround point. And special pair of the open jaw. Then when the journey is booked under the special fare rules. Single open jaw, the gap, the open segment is either open or origin or destination. Origin open jaw, origin normal open jaw, the open sector is in the country of origin. Example, LON to for Paris, then mean part to Maine, and London to Paris, but returning to the Manchester instead of the London. Now we are to the key takeaways. What are the key takeaways for this thing? Origin of the open jaw for this thing. Open jaw journey involves flying into one city and departing from the other. The toponyms of huge known air travel, train car between the two cities, and variant open jaw here type the open segment location. Now, destination open jaw. An open jaw journey where the gap open sector is at the destination. Example, outbound London, Hartford to Sydney, surface sector Sydney to Brisbane by train, and inbound like the Brisbane to London. What are the key feature actually? Inbound, outbound, going to the when the entering to the country that is inbound tourist, and when the outing, what is the outbound tourist? The traveler flies into one city and depart from another at the destination. Journey between these cities done by non-air transport. Surface sector travel definition: any part of the journey, no travel by you. That means train, bus, car, boat. Train, example, train from Sydney to Brisbane in the above itinerary. Now, what is the takeaway from this? So what is destination open jaw occurs when the traveler return from different city within the destination country. Surface sector refer to the non-flight travel within the journey. and airline may require specific fare rules and open job booking. Is there any question for that? Destination open job. Now, double open job, a journey where both origin and destination open sector. The traveler departs from the one city and return to the different city. Example, open bound. The LON, London to Sydney, and surface sector Sydney to Brisbane by car team. Inbound travel that Brisbane to Manchester. Key feature, the traveler does not return to the origin departure city. Both the outbound and return journey involve different cities. When they're going to the Sydney, that is the outbound and inbound into the Sydney. DOG occurs when the open sector is at both at the origin turnout points. Travel between the open segment is done by non-air transport and surface sector. These types of journey may require specific fare condition for booking. Is there any question for that? And this is the example of the visualize for the double open job. Now fare basis. Now the fare basis. What is the fare basis for this thing? Sorry. Fare. A fare basis is an alphabetical. It is alphabetic and numeric codes used by the airlines to identify a fare type. It helps airline staff and travel agents find applicable fare rules. Now, appear on ticket on the fare basis box can be include letters, number, and up to 2 slash. Purpose of the fare basis code indicate fare conditions such as whether a ticket is fully paid, discounted, or part of the package deal. If it is purchased through loyalty program, whether the fare is refundable, one way, round way, and season dependent, booking restrictions such as advance purchase requirement and penalties for the changes. Now we can example of the fare basis. That is the example of breakdown. Y for economy fare, H for high season ticket, 7 must be taken 7 days in advance, S for short haul flight and in a non-refundable tickets. Now key component of the fare basis. Start with the letter booking class BRBD. That means reservation book designer. Matches the reservation letter code for the seat. Example Y for economy, J for business, and A for the first class. Other letters of number may follow the indicate the condition like the advance booking requirement 7 for 7-day advance purchase and seasonality that H for high season, L for low season, and refundability that N for non-refundable purchase. Booking codes help the airline manager to seat availability. The Y7, K5, M40, 62. Y7 means seat available in full fare economy. KP5 seat available in discounted economy fare. Some codes are restricted, reserved for loyalty program, staff and international connection. Now example of the fare basis, that is LN 19 fare basis one way and return. This is the example for this thing. Now example of the breakdown for the U for premium economy class varies by airline. Return fare for the international travel. PV for premium economy. Y for economy flexi. YVG economy value fare. Key takeaway. Fare basis code help airline and travel agent understand fare rules. Each airline has its own format for the fare basis codes. Codes determine the ticket pricing, refund the policies, seasonality, and restriction. Booking class that help manage the seat availability and pricing, and this defarming Fear basis go to the economic industry knowledge and experience. These are the key takeaway of this thing. Stay for the fear construction. What is the fear construction? Construct a mileage system. Year fear construction follow the mileage system, which determine the official distance between cities and calculate fare according. The process involves the multiple steps. These are the steps are there. What are the steps? Fare construction point define. First, you define the origin and destination point for fare calculation. First step. Second is the ticket point mileage, the total mileage between the all ticket point including stopover. Second step. Third, MPA, maximum permitted mileage, the maximum allow mileage between the origin and destination. NUC, neutral unit of construction, here based on the route type, one way, round way. ROE, IATA rate per exchange, convert NUC fare into the local currency. And fare rules condition determine the applicable fare concept. These are the points are there. And if extra mileage allowed, if the extra mileage allowed, reduce fare if extra mileage available within the permitted limit. And EMC, excess mileage surcharge, apply surcharge, all these things. And check the higher fare if stopover occur at intermediate point. And say constructed fare, the final fare calculated based on this thing, say people conversion. TCF, total fare in local currency, the total fare converted into local using the RO return, ROE. So these are the steps we can follow to calculation. It depends upon the mileage system. Now, what are the key takeaways for this thing? Mileage based fare calculation ensure the consistency in ticket pricing. MPA and TPM determine the route based fare within the allowable distance. Extra mileage or excess mileage charges affect the pricing. The IATA ROE ensure the uniform currency conversion for international fare. HIP ensures stopward do not return lower fare than direct routes. Understanding these steps help travel agent and airline staff accurately price pick and apply for the correct fare rules. So if they are maintained for this thing, detailed step of the construction. Fare construction in air travel follows a mileage system which calculates fare based on permitted travel, distance, the routing, the rule below the tip. Fare construction price. The starting origin and enable the destination point of the Ebisada. Fare break time, where the specific fare component ends. A passenger flying from Washington to Cleveland, and these are the breakdown point for this thing, and ticket point mileage. The actual distance between the point used to calculate the year. Okay, but suppose the list of the word 60 pair distance consistently they are using for this thing. Maximum permitted mileage. The maximum allowed distance between two cities for a given pair component, MPM, based on the shortest non-stop mileage with the additional 20% buffer. The MPM manual includes nearly 7 million distance. Important, ensure valid routing and fare construction. Using outdated MPM data can lead to the incorrect fare. So these are the points to be remembered. The neutral unit of construction. Yes, standardized currency. Now, neutral unit of construction is standardized currency unit used to calculate fares globally. Key feature pegged to the US dollar and ensure the uniform prices across the different countries. NUC converted into local currency using the IATA exchange rate. Example, a fare quoted in GBP, EUR, and USD can be compared easily when converted into NUCS. Airline publish fare in both local currency and NUC for the consistency. Now, rate for exchange. Rate for exchange. Yeah, IATA rates. What is the rate for exchange? Rate of exchange determine monthly exchange rate for fair calculation. And key feature built on a 5 days average banking rate, ending on the 10th of each month, used by airline to interline invoice in fare construction, and base currency Euro, GBP, USD monitoring to against the world currencies for this thing. Now, these are the rules for this, the condition of revenue management system for the class for the all these things. And fare inclusion, additional fares should be applied beyond the fare of this thing. Direct booking for the extra mileage for this. So these are the important. And excess about this is surcharge. What is the surcharge calculation for this thing? These are the surcharge applied for this thing. And fare construction point define fare start from the end point, start to end point. Keep him actual listing and MP maximum allowed listing insert valid pricing. And you should standardize for calculation globally and convert them into local currency. IATA exchange rate update monthly for accurate the fare conversion. And extra mileage allowance may prevent the surcharge when existing the mileage fare condition like this one. Now the higher intermediate point for this thing, definition of this thing, these are the condition we are coming. Now the construction fare. The fare calculated after applying the fare rules and condition ensure accuracy in pricing, avoiding miscalculation due to overload loads, and represented in NAUC value before currency conversion. These are the technical terms we are using. Total fare in local currency, international fare are published in currency, the country, fare of the Malaysia, currency group for this, the excess baggage you take. If these are the total fare is converted in local currency, IATA exchange route guidelines, these are the guidelines are used to calculate the fare. Now we have completed the 11. Is there any question for that? If you have any question, you can ask. So let's finish this thing. Thank you everyone.